July 1914. Two of the world's greatest fleets are assembled on the high seas. Churchill's massive battleships of the Royal Navy and Kaiser Wilhelm's mighty German Imperial Fleet. If war comes, these fleets could decide the outcome in a single afternoon. In fact, Europe is careening out of control. Austria declares war on Serbia. Russia mobilizes. Then Germany, then France, Britain. The diplomats have failed. And so begins the catastrophe that is to become the First World War.
I am Lieutenant Hans Pochhammer, first officer on SMS Gneisenau, an armored cruiser with the best German gunnery crews in the German Navy. Nearby is SMS Scharnhorst, sister ship, prickling with 32 guns and torpedo tubes. On board is Admiral Graf Maximilian von Spee, the legendary commander of the East Asiatic Squadron. My name is John Luce, captain of HMS Glasgow, a light battle cruiser. Sir Christopher Kit Craddock is squadron commander. Before the war, he took tea with Admiral Graf Spee and his two sons, Otto and Heinrich. Such were the niceties of service on the China station. But dark clouds are forming, and with Japan having also declared war on us, our squadron steamed across the Pacific, evading belligerent Allied naval forces. If we can make it home, Graf Spee's big ships could help the home fleet wrest control of the seas and turn the tide of the war.
September 1914. The Allies win an immense strategic victory at the Battle of the Marne.
November 1st. Our squadron arrives safely off the southern coast of South America, where we encounter a British squadron Churchill has sent to destroy us. And so, the Battle of Coronel.
We formed battle lines. Our flagship, HMS Good Hope and HMS Monmouth, newly commissioned with a large number of reservists, who I knew would be no match for the 8.2-inch guns that armed Scharnhorst and Gneisenau.
Von Spee orders battle lines. Prepare for long-distance firing by starboard batteries.
A thunderclap rips across the sea. Flashes and shells obliterate our forward gun turret, killing the entire crew.
HMS Good Hope burns without firing a shell. Outranged, she is doomed.
Fire!
Our gunners are precise. Salvos find their marks.
The scene is appalling. The German broadsides score direct hits, one after the other. Good Hope slips beneath the icy waves. Admiral Kit Craddock, his dog Nelson, and 926 hands perish.
HMS Monmouth is outmatched and quickly overwhelmed. Nuremberg delivers the coup de grace. Monmouth sinks with a loss of 734 brave sailors. There are no survivors.
The Battle of Coronel was over. The stinging defeat prompted Churchill to dispatch a larger force under Vice Admiral Frederick Sturdy to hunt down and destroy von Spee's flotilla. On the Western Front, the warring nations had dug in for a war of attrition. Sea battle could tip the scales.
Admiral von Spee was having gloomy premonitions of his own death and that of his two sons serving with him. Destruction of the entire squadron, mass death at sea. Nevertheless, he planned a return of his squadron to Germany. Rounding Cape Horn, en route he decided to seize the Falkland Islands, a British outpost in the South Atlantic.
Indeed, his plan to seize the Falklands was a product of these fatalistic premonitions. His captains had advised against this attack, but he ignored their counsel.
December 8th, 1914. Our squadron appeared off the Falkland Islands, but we were surprised to find an entire British squadron anchored in the naval base. Churchill's vengeful fleet had arrived the day before and were in the process of coaling. Sitting ducks. As von Spee first brought his cruisers Nuremberg and Gneisenau close to our unprepared ships, He came under unexpected gunfire from HMS Canopus, an obsolete battleship that had been grounded to act as a defensive gunnery platform. Inexplicably, von Spee did not press the attack, and he turned to the open sea. He realized, too late, that his captains had been right, and that now he must correct his mistake. His failure to attack was a disastrous maneuver, and gave the British fleet time to get underway, and we soon found ourselves pursued by two swift killers, HMS Inflexible and Invincible. Inflexible caught up and opened fire on Scharnhorst. Invincible turned to fire broadsides, and von Spee responded by trying to close the range. Invincible would have been blown sky high, but two 8-inch shells failed to detonate. Scharnhorst took substantial damage on all decks. She sank first, with Admiral Graf Spee on board. She sank in 13 minutes. Gneisenau continued to fire bravely until her ammunition was exhausted. Her crew allowed her to sink. By day's end, Germany lost 4 warships and more than 2,500 sailors, including von Spee's 2 sons, Otto and Heinrich. The Battle of the Falkland Islands gave the Allies a much-needed surge of confidence. The British blockade of Germany tightened. Without von Spee's reinforcement, the Kaiser's fleet stayed bottled up in harbor. The war of attrition worsened for a starving German nation.